Hello students, how are you all? Welcome to Affairscloud, Learn to Lead. My name is Vikas Rana. So students, we have an app by the name Cloud which you can go and download through the Play Store. This application is a one-stop solution for all the students who are preparing for government exams. This application is valid just for the Android users. Once you have downloaded the application, you can go and log in through your Gmail ID, and once you have logged in, you will be moved on to this page where you can see the various courses that are offered by us. To avail this course, you can use a code that is crack10 to get an additional 10% discount on the purchase you make. If we talk about the course, why this course is so important, how you will be benefiting through this course. If you see, we provide current affairs on the daily basis, on weekly basis, as well as monthly basis. On daily basis, we will be providing you with PDFs of the content of that particular day. Apart from this, you will be getting a quiz on your application that will be of 20 questions quiz on daily basis that will help you in boosting your preparation. Apart from that, on weekly, you will be getting a 50 questions quiz for your preparation, as well as if you see, you will also get a PDF that will contain all the important compiled news, current affairs of that particular week. And similarly, for monthly, you will be getting a top 100 questions PDF of that whole month. That is very important PDF and will be covering the most important news of that particular month. Alright, apart from this, we also cover banking awareness. All the banking aspirants, those who are preparing for bank exams, will absolutely love our course because we cover almost 99.99% of the syllabus of your bank exams. Here you will see we will also provide with quizzes as well as the PDFs. Apart from this, if you see the topic wise, for example, there are multiple questions that are related to obituary, important days, who won which event, who was awarded with which award. So all these topics that are related to your GS also or GK, such as apps and web portals, these are the current affairs that are important days, your books and authors, the new applications that were launched, new government schemes that were launched by the government, or your international affairs or your national affairs. All these topics, there are 20 such topics of which we are providing the PDF, as well as we teach on YouTube, where you can go and check our channel and you will be surprised that the content that we are providing is absolutely amazing. Alright, so this will be helping you to boost your preparation in the long term. This YouTube channel, you can go and subscribe to our channel, that is your Affairscloud, that will help you for your revision purpose also. Apart from this, we cover the state current affairs also. Here you can see the current affairs and all these content that we provide you that are bilingual. That means we provide you in English as well as both in Hindi also. Alright, so all the students who are from the Hindi language will also be benefited through our course. Also friends, you can purchase our course for 2 years. Alright, also for 1 year. If the students have exam or they are planning for the long term and they want to study for 2 years and they are expecting to give exam after 1 year, then they can opt for 2 years. As well as if the student is planning to give exam next year, then they can go for the 1 year course also. So these are the two types of courses that are available by us. In the end friends, if you use a code that is Vikas10, you will be getting an additional extra 10% discount by using this code Vikas10. Also, if you have any problem regarding the course purchase, any problem regarding to our application, you can contact us on the mobile number that is 9677333862. And if you want to mail us, you can also mail us on support@affairscloud.com, and I assure you that our representative from us will be contacting you soon and resolving your issue. Hello friends, how are you all? I hope you are all good. So friends, in this video we will be discussing important current affairs of the topic indexes and reports of May month. The session will be very important and helpful for all of you. So I'll suggest you all to start making notes from this video itself to all those students who are first time watching our video. Alright, apart from this friends, you can follow me on Instagram. My Insta handle is provided here. You can have your doubts and queries cleared regarding your government exams. So friends, let's start with some of the important indexes first. Alright, these indexes are the ranks of India and the countries that have topped in the particular index. Say for example, if you are talking about EPI, that is your Environmental Performance Index, this was released by Yale University and Columbia University, and the rank of India in this particular index is 180, and the first rank in this index was of Denmark. Alright, Environmental Performance Index, as the name suggests, this is related to your environment, which country is working on the environment more efficiently, which country is following the sustainable development goals, what are the laws of the various companies that are being followed and developed according to the carefulness of environment. So this index tells about it. So similarly, we will be discussing about various indexes here, and then we will be shifting to the news part that we'll be discussing later. This will contain reports and other current affairs also. So we have seen the Environmental Performance Index. Next is your National E-Governance Service Delivery Assessment Report, that is your NASDA report for 2021. Who released it? This was released by Dr. Jitendra Singh, that you have to remember, and this will be talking about Jammu and Kashmir. Alright, so the state that topped in this was Jammu and Kashmir. Then is your World Air Power Index for the year 2022. This World Air Power Index was released by WDMMA, that is your World Directory of Modern Military Aircraft. In this, the rank of Indian Air Force was third position, and United States Air Force took the first position in this particular index. It was last month or before the last month this particular index was released, and here we also discussed this in our daily current affairs also when I was teaching daily current affairs, that Indian Air Force secured the third position in the world, and the first position was of United States Air Force, and this data was released by World Directory of Modern Military Aircraft. Next is an important one, that is your Travel and Tourism Development Index, released by World Economic Forum. The rank of India is 54th, and the country that topped here was Japan. Next comes your World Press Freedom Index. In this, it was released by Reporters Without Borders. The rank of India here was 105th, and the country that secured the first position here were three countries together. They were Norway, Denmark and Sweden. They together secured the first position. Next is your State Energy and Climate Index. This is released by Niti Aayog, and the state that is topped here is your Gujarat. Here we are talking about the first position. Then we will be talking about next is 12th edition of Quackrelli-Simons World University subject-wise ranking. Alright, here remember these were released by subject-wise. That means according to the subject these particular rankings were released. Here, this was the 12th edition of this ranking. It is released by Quackrelli-Simons. In this particular ranking, Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay secured the 65th position, and IIT Delhi secured the 72nd position. Another way this question can be asked, if you are talking about the 12th edition of the Quackrelli-Simons World University ranking, tell me which are the institutes that secured ranking under top 100. So there are two, that is your Indian Institute of Bombay with 65th position and IIT Delhi with 72nd position. And the university that topped in this particular was of Arts and Humanities of University of Oxford. And here it was of Technology or Engineering, here we can say. Alright, as it is of subject wise. Next is Export Preparedness Index. So this data is released by Niti Aayog. Export Preparedness Index, that means here we'll be talking about logistics and from maximum export is done and received. So Export Preparedness Index 2021 released by Niti Aayog, and the state that is topped in this particular index is your Gujarat. Next, we will be talking about Global Unicorn Index. What is this unicorn? Unicorn is any startup that has crossed a market capitalization of $1 billion, or roughly you can say around 76,000 crore rupees, 7,600 crore rupees. So any startup that has a market cap of more than $1 billion is considered to be a unicorn. And recently India has crossed the mark of 100 unicorns, and now currently there are 101 unicorns in India. This data, Global Unicorn Index, is released by Huron Research Institute, and India stood at third position in this particular index. First was your USA, second was your China, and third is your India. Next is your Global Health Security Index for 2021. It is released by Nuclear Threat Initiative and the John Hopkins Center. Rank of India here is 66th and the first position of USA. Next is your Lowy Institute Asia Power Index. In this particular Lowy Institute Asia Power Index, the rank of India was 4th, that is India stood at 4th position, and the top was of United States of America. Next is, if we are talking about the EIU, that is your Economics Intelligence Unit's worldwide cost of living index, or indirectly we can say, which is the most costliest city. Most costliest city to live in, it is Tel Aviv, that is of Israel, and this is the capital of this is the capital of Israel. All right, remember it like this. So world's costliest city according to the worldwide cost of living index is your Tel Aviv, that is the capital of Israel. So friends, these were all the indexes. If you are not taking notes, I'll suggest you to take a screenshot of it and then move on with the video. The first news of the report that we'll be discussing is about Reporters Without Borders. They released a data about World Press Freedom Index. This tells about the freedom about a country if they are having a freedom of speech regarding press. Press is basically, you can say, journalism. So are the journalists of a country free to write anything about their country that is true, or if they are able to write things around or about the corruption going on in their country or not? That tells about the freedom of the press in that particular country. So the rank of India in this particular World Press Freedom Index is 150th. On the occasion of World Press Freedom Day, that is observed on 3rd of May 2022, Reporters Without Borders, that is your RSF, they released the 20th edition of this World Press Freedom Index. So this was the 20th edition of World Press Freedom Index. It was released on World Press Freedom Day, that is observed on 3rd of May. In this particular, we saw in the list that Norway secured the first position. And remember, North Korea remained at the bottom of the list with the rank 180th. Next we will be talking about the impact rankings. India secured, or you can say India is the 4th best represented nation in the 8 varsities in top 300 universities. That means if we are talking about the various education and universities all around the globe and we compile them, then India secured the 4th best represented nation for various universities. The data THE stands for the Times Higher Education. They released the THE impact ranking. This was the 4th edition of this particular index, or you can say rankings. There were 1524 universities from 110 countries or regions that participated towards the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals across 18 tables, overall ranking, and one for each of the 17 sustainable development goals basically. All right, so coming back, what is the rank of India here? It is India represented as the 4th best represented nation in the 8 varsities in top 300 universities, and this is the impact ranking. That is your Times Higher Education, that is your THE, and that is the impact ranking. It was the 4th edition of which was released recently. Here you can see the top university, and yes, remember we saw that India stood at 4th position in this overall, and the country that stood at the first position is your Australia. In this particular index, if we talk about the ranking of various universities, for example, Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham secured 41st position and it is of India. Then Lovely Professional University, it is of LPU, that is in Punjab. It is of also India and it secured the 74th position. But if we talk about the top 3 university in the overall ranking, it was your Australia. That is, first position is of Western Sydney University, second is of Arizona State University of USA, and third is Western University of Canada. Alright, so remember all this data, take a screenshot of it. Next we will be talking about ILO. ILO is your International Labour Organization. Who is the Director General? He is Gilbert Huangbo, and Gilbert Huangbo became the first African to be appointed as the Director General of International Labour Organization. Alright, first important question. Then second, you have to remember that world may have lost around 11.2 crore jobs according to ILO, and here you can see they are fired. Not just fired, people were also leaving job because of the pandemic going on, you can say. First we'll study about the data, then I'll be discussing about it. According to the report that is of ILO, that stated ILO Monitor on the World of Work, this was the 9th edition of the report that was released. Several worldwide crises are threatening global labor market recovery, with increasing inequalities within and between countries. The global growth is projected to reach just 3.6% in 2022, which is 0.8 points lower than the January 2022 projections. All right, first of all, let's discuss what is all going around here. Say for a first reason was COVID-19. We know COVID took place, due to which we saw lockdowns, and there were lockdowns. Because of lockdowns, we saw that labors, even many uh, company people who were working in the big MNCs were not able to continue with their jobs. And before the work from home culture started up, many of them left their jobs or were fired because of this lockdown. Even we see many laborers were shifting. If we consider about India, many laborers were shifting from say Delhi to back to their own state from which they belong, be UP, Bihar. All right, and we saw that many of the laborers were going on foot because there was no transportation for them to take them from one location to another. Due to which we saw many businesses, small MSME sector saw a large number of businesses that shut down because of the COVID impact. Then second thing came your Ukraine war. Now we are seeing a huge impact of Ukraine war on the world economy. Because of this Ukraine war, we are seeing the rise in the petrol. We are seeing many countries are on the default of their payments. Say for example, Sri Lanka. We see the economy of Sri Lanka is in the worst days right now, because now they don't even have the money to pay for their fuels. They have also banned the exams in the schools because they were not having enough paper to print on these paper and give the students for their examination, so they cancel their exams. Even many businesses are not having right amount of electricity in that area. Even if we talk about Pakistan, we are seeing that many ministers of Pakistan are urging their citizens not to drink tea, because getting tea, they are getting tea from China. Earlier they used to get it from India, but now they are getting it China because of the ban of import and export between these India and Pakistan. So now they are getting their tea from China, and getting this tea from China is paying a healthy toll, or you can say a large amount of money they have to pay to China in order to import tea to their country. So they don't even have the right amount of money to import tea in their country. So you can see the amount of economic crisis there is going to be happen in the future. Even many countries are now saying that there will be a huge recession coming in the coming days, and world should prepare for it. And this data that states that around 11.2 crore jobs has been lost in the world according to this ILO. But remember, in future, if the recession occurs, then there will be more number of jobs that will be lost. So just remember this data, and it was the ninth edition of the ILO monitor on the world of work. Next we will be talking about the Travel and Tourism Development Index. As we saw, the rank of India in this particular index is 54th, and in this Travel and Tourism Development Index, the state that topped was Japan, second position was of USA, and third was of Spain, and on 54th position was your India. Also remember, India and Australia recently signed an MOU to work on the tourism sector. They signed a deal that they will be promoting tourism between these two countries. Also remember friends, tourism is one of the most important sector. As we recently discussed about Sri Lanka, what Sri Lanka was basically, their economy was mainly dependent on was tourism. But due to COVID-19, we saw the tourism dropped, and their economy took a very heavy toll on their crisis. Apart from this, also remember, even many Indian states are heavily dependent on the tourism sector. Say for example, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand. These are some of the states that are heavily dependent on tourism sector, because as the tourists go there, they spend, and that is the source of earning for this particular people living in those areas. So tourism, as we say, service sector is a very big sector that is providing economy a boost. So remember, tourism is also one such sector that provides economy a boost, or you can say provide us particular areas economy a boost. So remember, India's rank has dropped to 54th position in the Travel and Tourism Development Index, and it was topped by Japan, second USA, third Spain. Here we can see this data, that is your Travel and Tourism Development Index. This was released by World Economic Forum, and India secured 54th position in this particular index. Japan secured the first position, and the bottom position was 107th position, that is was occupied by the country Chad. The theme here is the theme of the World Economic Forum's Travel and Tourism Development Index for 2021 is rebuilding for sustainable and resilient future. This is the theme that I want you all to remember. This is an important theme. Next, Next data, we have discussed it earlier also, that recently WHO, that is your World Health Organization, has stated that keeping good hand hygiene will keep around 70% of the infections away. And this was also seen during the lockdown period when COVID hit, that stated that please keep your hands clean, do wash them before touching your eyes, and especially they were asked that you should not touch your face during COVID-19 because the infection can spread from your hands to your eyes or nose. So this is related to your good hygiene, that 70% of infections just can be prevented by good hand hygiene. Apart from this, if we talk about WHO, World Health Organization, they have launched an application that is no tobacco. Also they are working, or they are helping to set up a global center for traditional medicines in Jamnagar, that is in Gujarat. So this is related to your WHO that you should know. Also, naming of COVID-19 variants were done by WHO only, World Health Organization. Also remember, if we are talking about World Hand Hygiene Day, this day is observed on 5th of May. And remember, the theme of this particular World Hand Hygiene Day was a healthcare quality and safety climate or culture that values hand hygiene and infection prevention and control. So just keep in mind this theme. Alright, just go through it. I want you to just remember, because this can be asked in your exam, because this was one of the way now we were fighting COVID-19 during lockdown, because there was no medicine, there was no treatment for COVID-19. If a person is catching, only the precaution was there. And what was the precaution? To keep your hands clean and wear mask all the time. Next, we are talking about World Economic Forum's report. This new World Economic Forum's report that was titled Fostering Effective Energy Transition 2022. Alright, what does this means is, as we know, there is a global warming. We all know what is global warming. We all know due to global warming, we are seeing climate crisis. That is, we are seeing the change in climate, due to which we are seeing the rise in temperatures. Now, in order to keep our climate a healthy climate where people can live, what should we do is, what are the reasons that we saw that we are polluting the environment? All right, what was the main reason we are polluting the environment? The pollution is coming from the burning of fossil fuels to generate electricity. So what big the rulers of countries thought that we should eliminate the non-renewable sources of energy that is producing carbon on burning, and then replace them with the renewable sources of energy. And what are the non-renewable sources of energy? Say for example, coal, petroleum, diesel. These are the non-renewable sources of energy. They take a long amount of time to replenish. So coming to the renewable sources of energy, we shifted to the solar, wind, geothermal, then there is biogas. All these hydrogen, green hydrogen is one of the upcoming fuel of the future generation. So these are the transition we are doing in order to save our environment, because for the past 1 decade we are seeing that we have heavily degraded our environment by polluting it. We all the cars are using either petrol or diesel to run, which is causing environment pollution. Now we have shifted to CNG also, but still remember, a much better cleaner fuel can be your electric vehicles. We are shifting to electric vehicles. So now both, be it a private company or be it a government company or a public company, now they are both focusing on the sustainable development goals, and they are planning upcoming projects in such a way that the project should not degrade the environment, it should not cause harm to any environment. So also similarly, by not causing the harm to the environment, they should focus on the amount of energy needs that is required. Similarly, for this you can remember Indira Gandhi International Airport. Now Indira Gandhi International Airport is currently running on hydro as well as solar power only. By these two energy sources only, the Indira Gandhi International Airport of New Delhi is working, and now they have created a target to achieve the zero carbon footprint from them for this running this particular airport to be zero by the year 2030. So they are aiming net carbon zero or net zero carbon for this particular airport to be by 2030. So remember it. And if we're coming back, this World Economic Forum released the report that was Fostering Effective Energy Transition 2022. Next, we are talking about the NFHS 5 report. What is this? And this was released by, just remember, Dr. Mansukh Mandaviya ji, who is our Union Health Minister. First of all, NFHS, this is your National Family Health Survey. It is a multi-road, large-scale survey that is conducted in a representative sample of households across India. So far, NHS 1 was held in 1992 to 93. Then NHS 2 was from 98 to 99. Third was from 2005-6. Fourth was from 15-16. And now here we are talking about N National Family Health Survey 5th. This is being now conducted from 2019 to 2021, and this was released by Dr. Mansukh Mandviya, who is our Minister of Health and Family Welfare in the Government of India, and this was launched at, or this data was released at the Swasthya Chintan Shivir that was held in Ekta Nagar in Gujarat. The primary objective of this 5th National Family Health Survey is to provide essential data on health and family welfare, as well as data on emerging areas in India such as demographic characteristics, fertility, family planning, infant and child mortality. Why all this data is important? Because based on this data only, if we get a demographic data, then only we will be able to plan for future. All right, all the upcoming projects, all the industries projects, all the companies. All right, these companies are based on the futuristic models or futuristic plans that are being developed with the help of such surveys only. So these surveys will help to build a futuristic plan according to the demographics, and the data came in this National Family Health Survey that was from 2019 to 2021. All right, highly important. Here you can see in this National Family Health Survey 5th, India 17 field agencies conducted this fieldwork in 2 phases, collecting data from around 6,36,000 households in 707 districts across 28 states and 8 union territories. Alright, moving on. Next we will be talking about NSO, National Statistical Office. National Statistical Office, this is, remember, is related to providing GDP data for India. What is the GDP percentage of India will be released by NSO. So recently NSO also released a data that stated that unemployment rate in India for the third quarter, that is from October to December for the year 2021, was at 8.7%, and this data was released by NSO. I repeat, we are talking about the third edition of the Periodic Labor Force Survey that was released by NSO, and in this data it stated that the unemployment rate for third quarter, that was from October to December for the year 2021, was around at 8.7% unemployment data here we are talking about. All right, and for the second quarter it was around 9.8%. Moving on. Next, we will be talking about the state of the world's forest report. This stated, and we have discussed it, that in the past 30 years, Earth has lost about 10% of the total forest area. And this data was released by which organization? United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization released this particular data, and this is also known as SOFO. So SOFO is the state of the world's forest report. Moving on. Next, we are talking about RBI. RBI gave a report that economy can grow at 6.5 to 8.5% in medium term report. But remember, you have to just remember the data because this is of May month, but now in future the things can change because we are seeing high inflation all around the world. Also, there is a war going between Russia, Ukraine, NATO countries, and we are seeing a huge news coming up that we can see a recession in the upcoming months. So all are these factors that you have to remember, keep in your mind, and this data of GDP will be keep on changing with time to time. Different organizations will be releasing a different kind of data. So as per the RBI, that released a report, that is Report on Currency and Finance for the fiscal year 21-22, that was on the theme Revive and Reconstruct. This you have to remember, the theme on which this particular report was released. All right, and they stated that in the range, India's feasible range for the medium term steady GDP is around 6.5 to 8.5%. Next is India's cancer burden to rise to 29.8 million in 2025. That means Indian Council of Medical Research, that is your ICMR, released a report on the burden of cancers in India. It stated that the cancer patients in India will rise to around 29.8 millions in the year 2025. Even now there was a good news released in the world that kind of a treatment that was done, or it was a trial basis that was conducted on some patients. Say for example, I don't know the exact number of patients, but say there were 10 patients, and on these 10 patients a method was tested, and these all patients were with cancer. So with this new method or with this new treatment, they found that all the 10 patients were healthy and now they are cancer free. So indirectly we can say that humans might have found the treatment for cancer now. Next we are talking about a report that is the state of the inequality in India report. This report was released by Dr. Bibek Debroy, who is the chairman of the Economic Advisory Council to the Prime Minister. So what does this report state? This is saying that the inequality, what is inequality? That a small portion of a country holds the maximum amount of money, all right, and a large portion is holding a very small amount of money. For example, if we consider the wealth of the richest person in the world, that is of Elon Musk, say around net worth is $200 billion. $200 billion is roughly more than the GDP of a whole country, we can say. That means if Elon Musk wants, see, he was about to buy Twitter for $44 billion. All right, 44 or $43 billion. All right, so if he wants, he can buy Bhutan, he can buy Sri Lanka, he can buy Pakistan, he can buy Bangladesh, and then also he will be left with a large portion of money. That means he has so much amount of money that he can buy now countries. All right, that is a huge amount of money. So this report is saying that the state of inequality in India, this I was talking about world, but still in India you have to understand that the rich people are getting rich and the poor people are getting poor. Also, there was a report released during the COVID-19 that during COVID-19 a large number of percentage of people became millionaires from India because they earned a lot of money during the lockdown, where many poor people were losing money, they were not having any source of income. On the other hand, many rich people were earning a large amount of money, and this inequality is creating a huge problem because the resources are not equally distributed and the riches are getting rich and the poor are getting more poor. Moving on, next data is relating chain analysis. Chain analysis released a data stating for the cryptocurrency gains, that is cryptocurrency profits for the year 2021. In this, the first position was stated by United States of America, that USA saw the maximum number of gains, and India secured the 21st position in the cryptocurrency gains for the year 2021. Next is your Swachh Bharat Mission Urban 2.0. Remember, Swachh Bharat Urban Mission 2.0 was launched on the theme that you have to remember, that is an important one, that is hashtag garbage free cities. The first edition of this was launched in the year 2014 by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. It was launched under the theme of Mahatma Gandhi's vision, that was Swachh Bharat or Clean India. It was launched in 2014, and now in 2019 it was in 2020-21, remember, it was extended for 5 years till October 1st 2026. It is your Swachh Bharat Mission Urban 2.0, and we have discussed what was the main theme that you have to remember for this Swachh Bharat Mission Urban 2.0. It is your garbage free cities, highly important. Next, then, apart from these, friends, remember 1-2 current affairs that are important. If we are talking about India's first made in India electric bus, it is your EKA E9. This was built by which company? EKA. Remember, EKA built an electric, or you can say it is India's first made in India electric bus, that is EKA E9, that was built in India. Next, you have to remember Operation Satak. This Operation Satak was launched by Railway Protection Force, that was from 5th of April to 30th of April. Next, this is also an important one that you have to pay attention, that India is to build the first indigenous hydrogen fueled electric vessel. I repeat, hydrogen fueled electric vessel. It will be built by India, and by which organization? Cochin Shipyards Limited will be building this first in India, or you can say India's first indigenous hydrogen fueled electric vessel. This is hydrogen fueled electric vessel. All right. Apart from this, remember, biggest electric cruise ship was built by whom? It was built by China. Also, China is also building an international space station for themselves. So friends, that's all for the day. I hope you have enjoyed the session. If you want us to continue with session, all you have to do is comment below and let us know what are your views on such sessions. If you are enjoying such session, then definitely comment below. Value of your comment is very high. Apart from this, friends, you can watch national affairs, international affairs, defense, sports, all these topic wise videos just by typing national affairs by Vikas Rana in the YouTube search bar, and you will be finding the most important videos and the all the videos that are related to the topic in that particular section. Apart from this, friends, we also release weekly videos, we also do monthly videos, and these two videos are highly important videos because they contain the compiled questions of that particular week or particular month, which are very important. And I suggest that definitely a student should watch these two videos definitely for at least one time. And for the monthly and weekly, I'll say at least watch this video 2 to 3 times if you want to be 100% sure with your preparation. So friends, that's all for the day. Thank you. That's all for the day, friends. I hope you enjoyed the session, and you can follow us on the YouTube channel, as well as apart from YouTube channel, you can go and follow us at Affairscloud Telegram channel. And if you have any queries related to the content or the of courses offered to you or the payment which you did on the application, you can contact us on the number provided, that is 7677333862. Apart from this, friends, you can follow us on the Facebook as well as on Instagram handle, that is Affairscloud_official. In the end, friends, if you use a code that is Vikas10, you will be getting an additional extra 10% discount by using this code Vikas10. Also, if you have any problem regarding the course purchase, any problem regarding to our application, you can contact us on the mobile number, that is 9677333862. And if you want to mail us, you can also mail us on support@affairscloud.com, and I assure you that our representative from us will be contacting you soon and resolving your issue.